Alright guys, so everybody has been begging me to do my brow tutorial. So today I'm going to be showing y'all how I wax and fill in my brows at home. I use the Sally Hanson's wax strips, and I'm going to start off by taking the smallest piece, cutting that in half, and then I'm going to take it between my hands and warm it up until the wax is soft. And then I'm just going to peel it apart, and it'll give you two separate strips. And for the first strip, I'm going to put that on the top part of my brow. And then holding the end that I'm going to be ripping from, I'm going to hold that with one hand, and with the other hand, I'm going to pull towards the inner portion of my brow. Whenever you're waxing, you always want to make sure to pull the opposite way of hair growth. So I'm just going to pull that real quick, and then I'm going to go in with the other waxing strip, and I'm going to cut that one in half. And then with the first piece of that, I'm going to put that in the middle of my brow. And then doing the same routine as last time, I'm just going to hold the top part of my brow with one hand and then rip the opposite way of hair growth. You're going to see me pressing down really hard, making sure that it's really stuck on there, because if I try to pull and it's not stuck on there, I'm going to end up having to tweeze a whole bunch of hairs later because it's not going to pull all your hairs off. And then taking that other piece, I'm just going to stick that on the end of my brow towards the arch, and I'm just going to fix that. It was hard for me to see because my mirror is like so far down, and I'm like sitting up trying to look at the mirror from afar. So if you see me bending down so much, that's why. Alright, and now I'm going to heat up some more strips, and I'm just going to rub those between my hands, and then I'm actually going to end up cutting this one in half again because it was a little too big. It was getting on my eyelid. And don't worry about the extra wax because we're going to wipe that off at the end anyway. And now I'm just going to do the bottom part of my brow. And another tip is to make sure that the piece that has no wax on it is facing the end that you're going to be pulling from, because I've made the mistake like a million times of actually placing it down backwards, and then I would end up having to wax it twice because I had to get it off of there somehow. And ignore my nails because I know they look a mess. But now I'm going to go in with some finishing oil and a baby wipe, and this stuff feels so good. My skin's not as sensitive as it used to be, but it used to get like really swollen and like super red, and this stuff just feels so good. And I'm just going to be wiping off all of the wax that got on there, and then I'm just going to go in and tweeze a little bit. Now taking my Ardell brush, I'm just going to go into my pomade. Now you can use any brow pomade, all of them pretty much work the same, but I'm just going to be using this one by Music Flower. It's like a duo, it has powder on top and this on the bottom. I'm going to start off by lining the bottom part of my brow, and then I got a little bit out of frame when I started on the top, but I just started from the top of my arch and I just made a line directly to the end of my brow. And don't worry if you get a little bit messy because we're always going to clean that up with concealer afterwards. And I really like this pomade because it's not as thick, so it kind of goes on sheer. And I like that because it looks like, I don't know, it kind of looks like a tint on your skin instead of like a thick pomade, if you know what I mean. Now taking no excess product on my brush, I'm just going to continue to line the bottom part of my brow, and then I'm going to flip the brush to the side, and I'm actually going to do some hair-like strokes before going in with some more product. Now I'm going to dip my brush back into my pomade, and I'm going to do some hair-like strokes towards the front of my brow. This is going to give me a more natural look. I'm not really into the whole ombre eyebrow anymore. It's almost 2018. We're not really doing that no more. Now taking just a little bit more pomade on my brush, I'm just going to fill in and touch up a little bit. Alright, now to clean up my brows, I'm going to take a flat brush and my Tarte Shape Tape in medium for the bottom part, and this is actually going to give me a more highlighted look, so I go a couple shades lighter than my skin tone. And you're going to see that whenever I clean the top part, I'm going to use a concealer that matches my skin a lot better. And then I'm going to add a little bit more concealer to the front of my brow and just clean that up before I go in with my finger and just blend it all out. Now for the front of my brow, I don't take any excess product on my brush. I kind of just stroke upwards, cleaning it up a little bit, kind of at an angle, and I just blend that out with my finger to make sure it looks nice and crisp. For the top part of my brow, I'm going to go in with the L'Oreal True Match Concealer. This one matches my skin tone really well. It's kind of hard to tell because my skin's so red on top, but I actually only start near the arch. I don't go all the way from the front of my brow, and then I'm just going to carve that out until it's nice and crisp, and then I'm going to do the same thing as the bottom and just blend it out with my finger. Now I lost my brow gel, so to make sure my brows stay in place all day, I just take some hairspray on a little spoolie and I just comb that through my brows. And that's pretty much it for my brows, guys. If y'all found this helpful and if you enjoyed it, please leave me a like, a comment, and make sure to subscribe to my channel. And follow me on my social media. It's going to be at the end of this video. And I'll see y'all next time. Bye!